Dearfield, that's a piece of Colorado history that is worth preserving. African-American farmers built the town on the eastern plains, and then times changed, people left, a lot of the buildings crumbled and fell. We've taken you out to Dearfield over the years as interest grew in restoring it as a historic site. Well, now the funding's arrived. Here's Mark Salinger.
There's only a small sign off the side of a highway in rural Weld County.
So historical purposes, it is very, very important.
Yet Dearfield is worth knowing about.
It's also important for people to understand that this black community existed. And it existed in an area with mostly whites around that, and they got along together, they worked together.
More than 100 years after it was built, Dearfield has nearly fallen apart over the decades. It was once the largest African-American homesteading settlements in the state. Now it's a part of Colorado history people like George June are fighting to preserve.
There are a lot of people don't know about Dearfield.
June is the coordinator of Africana Studies at the University of Northern Colorado. He was just awarded a nearly $500,000 grant to preserve and restore Dearfield.
It's very unique because Dearfield is one of the few African-American agricultural communities that still has some of the original buildings.
Our ultimate plan, and I may not live long enough for this, is to create a partial recreation of the old Dearfield. Physically, that people can visit.
Bob Brunswick is an emeritus professor at UNC and June's partner in the project. He uses his expertise in archaeology to dig through history and find hidden information.
Now what we're doing over the past decade is preserving what's there and learning from what's in the soil.
The settlement was built around 1910 and was home to several hundred people. There are only 2 buildings that are still standing, with others torn apart by the eastern plains.
Right now, we're working very hard just to keep the remaining buildings from falling down.
Now Dearfield has a chance to finally be restored. The archaeology aspect of this is so important because a lot of the clues that will help them learn more about what Dearfield was and who lived there are buried beneath the ground. Now, they've already found things like plates and silverware that'll help them determine exactly how many people live there. There's estimates that's between 100, 300 people, but nobody knows for sure, and this is all part of that project as well.
I imagine people hearing your story, Mark, and thinking, oh, I can't wait till it's finished and I'll go out and take a look. But they actually would really like people to come out now.
You can go out there right now. It's about a half-hour drive from Greeley, but they just had the Dearfield Day, which was inviting people out, seeing Dearfield and learning about it. Teaching about what Dearfield was and the history that's beneath there and that's still there is half the battle in people understanding it and then pitching in to help preserve it.
We have peeked in on Dearfield over the years a number of times. It's really cool to see things come to fruition. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.